Hi, I'm Kimberly Carey-Coffin, Global Technical Director for Food Sector Supply Chain Assurance at Lloyd's Register. The last 12 months, we've seen a rate of change and prevalence of risk that have demonstrably increased. It's not surprising. Development of data and analytics tools that can assist businesses with risk management have also accelerated in this period. In speaking and listening to a number of our customers and leveraging our sector expertise and technology, we've developed LR InSight capability to help our customers make sense of their data landscape with three key objectives. The first, getting more power from your disparate data, providing one clear view, better understanding the most significant risk factors for your products and brands, and finally, providing insight that enable focused and actionable decisions to better manage risk. I'm pleased to share with you two models that we've developed internally to demonstrate the art of the possible in using data analytics to better understand and manage risk. The first is our food safety risk model, built using 30 years of publicly available recall and border refusal notifications. As you can appreciate, this data comes from a variety of sources and is presented in a number of different ways. It's through the application of our own proprietary taxonomy with regards to products and risk that we've been able to apply machine learning to get the most out of that data. In this model, we've taken that information and segmented it into three key areas. The first is around overall what those recall results and border refusal results are telling us by way of risk factors through looking at what are those highest areas, if you will, or product categories whereby that have occurred the most incidents with regards to product safety. Also, this tells us and provides us with a very clear line of sight with regards to the highest level of risk areas, both from a top-line risk class and as well as in a secondary risk classification, taking us and allowing us to drill into the very specifics with regards to those key reasons that there have been recalls and border refusals. We recognize as well it's important to actually understand what's happening by way of these notifications, the types of notifications and the categories of data that we're actually using in looking at those risk factors. Importantly, we also are able to actually look and understand and really get a clear view with regards to where those greatest risks are happening by way of products. In selecting that top product, not only does it tell us that those notifications with regards to cheese, which over the last period of the 30 days has been where we've seen the highest instance of product failures or product incidents that are underpinned by this recall data, it also tells us that the type of risk associated with those notifications and those products is very greatly into two buckets, E. coli and Listeria. Also cleverly, the model is able to actually let us look at the types of notifications by risk, and in selecting, again, the highest and most prevalent over the last 30 days, it gives us a great understanding of not only that salmonella and incidents related to product safety in this regard are also linked directly to these products categories. And the third feature of our food safety risk model is a recognition that it's important for businesses to be able to slice and dice the information that are specific to their needs and get a greater understanding of those true risks that are unique to their products or their materials. As such, in the Explorer section of the model, we're able to look at that collective group of recalls. We're actually then to actually drill into those various pieces of our data to actually get a true picture that is most meaningful to us. Looking at and starting with those product classes and where there are those highest levels of incidents that have related to product failures. Exploring down into more specifics with regards to that particular product class and looking at actually those key products that actually sit in there and how they rank and where they have the greatest level of risk. From there, we can also drill into and have a look at, if we're sourcing those products and pistachios in this particular case from a particular country, are there any countries that have more prevalence of actual order refusals or product recalls from an origin perspective? And then finally, we can also drill into the actual risk classifications. What are those specific risks that are related to and are being seen out of those particular countries of origins or source of supply? The second of our internally developed models is our supply network risk model. It's been built using a sample of historical LR audit outcome data that ranges across 182 suppliers and 448 of their corresponding sites. Reviewing the overall audit outcomes and the types and numbers of nonconformances, as well as the severity of those nonconformances that have been identified through the audit process, we're able to actually demonstrate and provide a really good view of where there is higher and elevated levels of risk by way of audit performance and subsequently potential risk to product that's being manufactured by those sites by country, as well as to provide an actual indication of the actual risk category that relates to each of those individual sites, ranging from critical risk of sites by way of audit performance, as well as through to those that have a high level of performance overall. What this does gives us really clear understanding and insight into where we should be focusing our time, whether it be through a remedial measure, where it may either intervention or where there may be a need for subsequent training, or where there is something more that we should be doing in between those audit cycles. Likewise, in looking at the overall risk categorization and actually looking at individual sites, we've developed a means by which that we can actually analyze and identify and compare site to site and apply an overall site risk index to actually help us understand those most risky sites. Finally, in using natural language processing, we're able to actually look at not only the classification and the types of nonconformances that have been identified, but we're able to look at and get an understanding of those particular nonconformances and those key areas of a site performance that are leading to overall higher risk with regards to audit performance, as well as those that are most commonly driving, if you will, site failure or have the potential to lead to product failure coming out of those sites. Further, we're able to actually look and drill into specific sites and get a better understanding and feeling with regards to what's causing those critical risks at those high risk factories. This is not just a static 1 year perspective, but it actually, through the application of the artificial intelligence and looking at the data that's been applied, we're able to actually look at each individual site's historical record of performance and audit outcomes. We're able to look at the trends that may have led to the critical risk performance, as well as we're also able to look at the overall historical severity of nonconformance class, as well as those areas with regards to where we actually have or could possibly be seeing some trends related to overall site performance. This gives us not only insight into the areas of nonconformity and the severity that has been applied, but it also gives us a really great insight into where we can actually identify potential historical trends that may lead to a failure in the overall demonstrable evidence of the effectiveness of the corrective actions being taken year on year to address nonconformances. Overall, the supply network risk model gives us a really good understanding and a much deeper insight into what those audit outcomes are actually telling us about a site, as well as by pulling in that historical data, it gives us a really clear view of where we should be focusing attention on actually addressing and working with our sites to improve. At LR, we understand that the problems our customers are trying to solve, as well as their critical risk factors, are unique, and as such, our approach to crafting the right LR InSight solution is to work closely with you to ensure it addresses your specific needs. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about LR InSight capability, and we welcome the opportunity to learn more about your specific challenges and how we can work with you to optimize and improve management of risk in your business.